Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Nikki Speed, and I'm co-founder and CEO of SUDC UK. We're the national registered charity for sudden unexplained death in childhood. And also speaking today is our family support nurse, Lorna de Bourg. Our mission is to encourage and fund medical research to improve awareness and understanding of SUDC and to support affected families. And a little bit about me. So I'm a bereaved parent myself. I've provided direct support to families for many years and worked as a professional attending joint agency meetings and child death review meetings. Learning from families has been so important since founding SUDC UK. And today I'd like to speak about National SUDC Day. Now, this is such an important day because when we co-founded the charity, there were no guidelines, there was no awareness of sudden unexplained death in childhood, despite it being the fourth leading cause of death for children aged 1 to 4. There's still very limited awareness of SUDC, and most of your friends probably have never heard of it, but this is why it's so important, because if we don't talk about it and educate about SUDC, then it will never stop. So the 18th of March is National SUDC Day, and we launched this in the Houses of Parliament in 2024 with the support of 130 amazing professionals, families and MPs. Last year we had a webinar which over 1,000 people registered to attend, and this year thank you so much for watching today on the 18th of March or at any point this year. This webinar will cover facts about SUDC, progress that's been made since this time last year, and hopefully it will leave you feeling informed about SUDC research and care for families. And I really hope that you end up feeling hopeful as well for the future. Please do take care. This is a difficult subject, and deeply loved and missed children are at the heart of it. Very mindful that those watching may be here for different reasons. Some of you may be bereaved parents or friends or loved ones, people from schools or peer charities, NHS professionals, coroners or police. With this in mind, you can see some helpful resources there. Our charity line is a mobile because some people do prefer to text, and we're not here 24/7, but the Samaritans are, and you can see supportive information on our website. But most importantly, just take care during the webinar, and please take care after the webinar as well. I thought I'd start with some terminology, some definitions, because there's lots of different acronyms when it comes to deaths like these. So sudden unexpected death in infancy and childhood is the term at the point of presentation. So this is a death that occurs that wasn't expected to occur 24 hours prior. Sudden unexplained death in childhood, or SUDC, is a sudden unexpected death of a child between 1 and 18 years of age, which remains unexplained after a thorough case investigation, and that includes a post-mortem. We know that 30% of all child deaths are sudden, 19% of all child deaths are sudden and with no immediately apparent cause, and those are the families we can support. And that after investigation, 40 children every year will have their death categorised as SUDC. So I spoke of deeply loved and missed children. I said that I was a bereaved parent. You can see my daughter in there on the slide in the middle. She was called Rosie. And we founded the charity, myself, Helen and Camilla, in memory of Rosie, Yanni and Rex, and all of the children affected. SUDC was founded to be a specialist charity that informs, empowers and advocates for these families. We're a national bereavement support organisation and medical research charity, and we lead on policy and training. Please refer any families to us immediately. Most of our income is spent on life-saving research to stop children dying without explanation, and importantly give hope to a connected grieving community whose children have died this way. So since last year, I'm pleased to say that we have made a huge difference. So we've been working really hard, and because of demand, we've expanded our team with 3 new team members. We've collaborated with Royal Colleges on critical reports and attended their training as faculty. We've climbed mountains with families to raise funds and awareness. We've launched new professional awards. And there's a picture there on the screen of me looking much younger than I do today. And that was when I attended a global organisations conference. This organisation focused previously on SIDS and infants, and now as SUDC UK as an organisation has been elected to their board. So that's excellent progress. We've evolved our services, which are now nurse-led and have beautiful care packages for families. And we've, in memory of Albie Mackenzie, had impactful talks with the Scottish Government and Northern Ireland to better support their affected families. And finally, we've launched new landmark research projects funded and supported by SUDC UK. And you can find these in the research section of our website. So now I'd like to introduce a video where families will share their experiences of SUDC, and it provides an introduction to the charity, and then afterwards focus on research and care and what's happening next. Take care when watching.
He was the youngest of four. He was just so happy.
She was a mini me, really. Everyone used to say, "Oh, Chloe, you look like me." She's so lovely. She died just a couple of weeks before her 3rd birthday.
Jude was amazing.
Yeah.
He was the happiest child you could imagine. He was hilarious and naughty and fun.
We'd been at the beach all day and she'd been like running around with Ollie and playing. She'd had a really good day collecting shells. Put her to bed that evening, and then 2 hours later I went in to check on them, and that's when I saw Chloe was sort of laid face down. Yeah, it was all quite a traumatic time.
I was actually at work. As far as I was aware, he was happy at home, and the bleep went off. I ran down, walked in. Obviously I saw CPR going on from the ambulance crew. We were there as the hospital ready to take over. And I remember seeing this cloth nappy. And I remember thinking, oh, someone else has got the same nappy as us, because it was quite a rare one, it was from America. And I just went like that, did a second take, and I just went, oh my God, that's my son.
In his short life that we had, we tried to fill it up as much as we could.
Yeah, lots of special memories.
When it first all happens, it's so confusing, it's so unknown, and you feel like you're in a different world. It is hard to explain, and you can't explain it, but you need that sort of support to say to you, it's all right.
Suddenly when your child's stolen away from you, the only people who really understand are people who have also had their child stolen away from them.
Knowing that there's other people that have unfortunately been in the same situation, but they can support you. Not knowing that you're on your own is very important, because it can feel quite lonely even as a couple.
It was always just a thing that happened to somebody else, and then it happened to us, and so we made contact, didn't we? And we were embraced very, very, very quickly.
It just felt like being kind of pulled in from this like storm that we were going through. We just had nowhere to really turn, and they reached out to us.
And sometimes it was just knowing you weren't the only person going through hell, knowing that there's that sort of hope for the future, but also having someone to talk to if you need to.
When you've just lost a child suddenly and unexpectedly, there is so much trauma that follows other than the death. The investigations, the police, everything, the post-mortems, and these are not short processes. They can drag on for months. It was all quite scary and really daunting, and we found it very invasive, very traumatic.
This is quite a sort of an amazing but quite a small charity. Like, why isn't this a much more urgent cause. Why isn't everyone talking about this?
It's really important to get more funding, to get more research and, hopefully make it something that can be prevented in the future.
These children are between 1 and 18 and there is not the investment and the dedication to research that there should be. And this is happening two times a fortnight for someone in the UK.
They're no longer physically here, but this is our time special time. For Rex, for Rosie, for Yanni.
Almost every family, without question, wants to stop this happening to another family. When we established the charity, the first thing that we wanted to do was to fund research, because I think we all felt, and all the kind of the wider families that we'd connected with, felt like they wanted to stop this happening to children in future, and they wanted to stop families having to have the experiences that we've had.
Thank you so much to all of those families that took part in that video. So talking about research is the only way we will stop this, and every child deserves the chance to live. We currently know very little about SUDC. We know that these children usually are normally developed. For example, Rosie, my daughter, scored 100% on her 2-year check the month before she died. We know that some heart rhythm disorders can lead to sudden death, and we also know that there's an association between febrile seizures and SUDC. And what I mean by that is that 30% of SUDC children have a history of febrile seizures. That's about 10 times higher than in the general population. Now, please note that these febrile seizures and SUDC, this association doesn't include children who have a medical history of epilepsy or those where clear causes of, cardiac causes of death have been identified. For SUDC, we do not know how to predict which children will die, effectively reduce the risks and prevent deaths. And this is why we say that every child deserves the chance to live, because at the moment, no one even stands a chance. You may have heard of SIDS, or sudden infant death syndrome, which I mentioned at the start, and that currently affects about 200 babies per year. And safer sleep for babies, including placing them on their back to sleep, does not apply over the age of 1. And there's currently no modifiable factors for SUDC. SADS is a term you may have come across, and we support that. If you have the opportunity to learn more about heart screening, please do. So this is what SUDC looks like today. It's a bit of a strange image you'll see, but it's just one kind of big black hole. We do not understand why these children are dying. But this is what SUDC really is. It's a lot of different reasons why the children are dying. We say it's a heterogeneous group with multiple underlying diagnoses. And what we're hoping will happen is that through data collection and research, we'll identify subsets, identify risks, develop preventative measures, and reduce deaths. But that's really challenging. It's challenging because they're rare, so it's difficult to identify the trends. There are inconsistencies in investigation and documentation, and post-mortem, sadly, are limited. It's hard to detect things that are functional, like seizures and arrhythmias. Most importantly, the biggest limiting factor is the amount of research that has been conducted into SUDC. And you can see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. We have a lot more to do. But as a mum myself, that provides a huge amount of hope, because we've seen through the research and awareness that's taken place for SIDS how they've reduced deaths by 80% over the last 30 years. And this is Peter Fleming, the clinical lead in the Back to Sleep campaign, and he says that he's convinced that with the right research, we'll soon be able to prevent many such deaths. And he's there talking about children aged 1 to 18. So what are we doing about it? Well, today I'm very proud to say that we've funded, SUDC UK have funded over £890,000 to SUDC research projects, and we're currently accepting applications for a second round of research funding. Also, there is hope for the future through projects that are national, like Pioneer, one of our currently funded projects, looking at SUDC medical research and the opinions of families on what we need to research. There's that global organisation I mentioned who can focus on SUDC now at a global level. We have incredible expert advisors supporting SUDC UK. And also, we do know there are some themes which need further investigation. I mentioned febrile seizures and SUDC, and it's part of our research strategy that we need to better understand that association. There is a crisis at this time in terms of paediatric pathology, with waits being cruel and long, taking 9 to 12 months, sometimes more, for families to find out why their child has died. This is just unacceptable, and we're doing everything we can to support families during that time and advocate that this needs to be addressed urgently. So this is a good time to talk about care for families and how they are affected by SUDC. So I'll introduce Lorna, our family support nurse.
Thanks, Nikki. I'm Lorna, the family support nurse at SUDC UK, supporting families directly and professionals. So in relation to care, there is limited evidence available, but there is some newer evidence that exists, and you can read more about this on our website. The most recent being by Emily Cooper, and this was published in 2025. Another project that we're supporting is a large national project alongside University of Southampton, with the focus on care and the support that families receive. So if you're interested in being involved in this, please contact Southampton or contact us for further information. So from Emily's research, families fed back lived experiences about the impact of sudden unexplained death in childhood. And there are a number of quotes on here, but just to pick out a couple. One family reported that when you have a baby, you go home with a newborn and a midwife and a number to call. But we came home without him. We were just left. And another quote that was fed back to Emily was, "The police guy in the back with us, he was only young and he started to cry. I actually found that very comforting. I don't think the police need to worry about things like that. Having to maintain a professional edge, it was such a human reaction." So we've developed professional chess, which we feel resonate and can help with the holistic approach to care. And this is contact with a trained key worker, which is part of the statutory guidelines, healthcare referrals, and looking at that emotional support for the family. Also S for sibling support, if there's siblings within a family, and linking in with schools, and also specialist guidance and community. And this is where the layered support comes in, such as ourselves. So CHESS carefully considers every move, the whole journey from 999 to beyond, from the case being closed and reviewed. Being proactive and encourage accountability is really important, and the layers of support that a family need. Finally, please never send new information to a family or call them without warning. A short email can help immensely, or a text. CHESS is about being warm, compassionate and proactive with your help, which as a professional underpins all the work we do. And being proactive with your help with families. And an uplifting piece of news is that we've launched the SUDC UK Professional Award in memory of Alexander and Isabel. This was launched last year at a national conference, and it's a very special award to recognise any professional with their excellent care and to give thanks to that professional in a very difficult job. Dr. Emily Cooper and SUDC UK hope that the professionals receiving this award will feel valued and very proud of their excellent work and the impact it has on the family journey. So any further information on this, please contact us. And our service is developing. So when you make contact, you'll be speaking to me as a specialist nurse. I'm proactive and will get back to you as soon as I can. We have specialist resources and guides on the website, such as the Support for Schools, which is a really useful tool that was developed by siblings for siblings. When a family registers, you receive information and a care and connection package, as well as handwritten cards remembering the much loved children. And also we connect as a community. We do real family events in person or virtually. We do funded retreats and we do peer support programs. And who do we support? We support any family whose child has died aged between 1 and 18 where there's no apparent cause. And it's really important to highlight that we will, any referral from the point of loss or as a control after the initial post-mortem, if an explanation does become clear anytime, we will continue to offer support and signposting and whatever is helpful to families. So please use the professional form, and I will get back to yourself and families the next working day. And if you have any questions about this at all, please get in touch.
Thank you so much, Lorna. Moving along from care, I think it's really helpful to talk about genetics because this is important to so many of our families. In terms of genetics and why it's important, I'm going to share some personal experience. After my daughter died, I felt like I was a mixture of 3 very different people, either on the floor, crying my eyes out in the depths of grief. I had a son at the time, so the other part of me was doing the school run, getting the shopping in, functioning because I had to. Maybe even seeing friends for coffee and smiling with them, but it's like that different person. And then the third person was an absolutely petrified woman, feeling like I was being drawn towards the next death. I was paralyzed with fear for my son's life because Rosie had been fine. She'd been happy, healthy, and she'd died suddenly and no one could tell me why. So it's very rational for me to be scared for my son. So SUDC UK has advocated for genetic testing to be available for every family who has an unexplained death. So once that post-mortem report says the death is unexplained, and hopefully in the future earlier in the pathway, families now can be referred for genetic analysis. This is a super panel comprising of 11 different panels. It's very comprehensive, and families also should be referred for cardiac screening. And please do everything you can if you are a professional to make sure that families feel supported and referred promptly. If you're a family listening, please contact us. We have expertise in this and we have experience, lots of peer support to help guide you through genetic testing and cardiac screening for your family. As a charity, we do free training. It's a really important part of our mission to raise awareness. We have lots of resources on our website, so please contact us, and myself or Lorna would be very happy to help you in a bespoke way, whatever your department needs to help you raise awareness of SUDC and provide optimal care for families in collaboration with us and I'm sure other charities as well. So to end on what's happening next and awareness of SUDC, we had a parliamentary debate, the first one ever in 2023, and tragically 120 children have died without explanation since that last debate. So we need to take urgent action to make sure that we can save lives in the future. On the 24th of March, we're having a debate in Parliament, which is hosted with the clear action of developing a national plan with clear milestones, government leadership, and regular reporting every 2 years against this plan. So that's our current ambition in terms of making a huge difference for SUDC and really discussing research with experts and the government and coming up with a tangible plan that will make a significant difference moving forwards. If you could help, please look to our website in the Support Us section and write to your MP, whether it's before or after the debate you're listening, tell them what you think is important and help lobby for attention to SUDC. And this is why these beautiful children, every child deserves a chance to live. Thank you so much to all of the families that fundraise and support SUDC UK in memory of their children. You are making a huge difference. There are so many families affected, and some of them describe every day like climbing a mountain. And so the fact that they are courageous and resilient and do everything they possibly can to support SUDC UK, we are ever grateful. Thank you too to all of the professionals that support families affected and our charity. I do believe that together we can make a huge difference. We can save lives in the future and better support families. Please get in touch if we can help in any way, and hopefully next year we'll share the national plan with you and the outputs of the research that we're currently funding and encouraging. Take care after this meeting and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.